Some houses hold memories, and some hold nightmares. This is the story of Ethan Hale, a boy who walked through darkness and still found the strength to rise. Ethan grew up on Linden Street, in a house people whispered about, not because it was haunted, but because the people inside were slowly breaking. His parents, Marie and Daniel, were once loving and stable. One bad decision changed everything. A loan they could never repay. Bills replaced peace. Arguments replaced laughter. And Ethan learned to walk quietly through his own home. Even as a child, he felt it. The house was getting colder. Not from the weather, but from the fear that settled into its walls. One winter night, glass shattered downstairs. Ethan woke to voices he didn't recognize. They were low, fast, dangerous. He stepped into the hallway and saw shadows moving in the living room. Two men standing over his parents. His mother was shaking. His father couldn't speak. One of the men noticed Ethan watching. He smiled. That smile stayed with Ethan long after the men left. Long after the door closed. Long after the house fell silent again. Nothing was ever the same after that night. Fear became normal. His parents jumped at every sound. Windows were checked twice. Doors locked again and again. Food became limited. Warmth became rare. At night, Ethan heard footsteps in the hallway. Sometimes he felt the walls breathing. He never knew if it was real, or if trauma had learned how to whisper inside his mind. By 13, Ethan was stronger than his parents. Emotionally, mentally. He worked small jobs, fixed broken things, saved what little he could. He didn't dream. He survived. One stormy night, everything collapsed. The shouting was louder than the thunder. The neighbors called the police. Ethan stood in the living room, silent, while his parents fell apart around him. When the officers spoke to him alone, they asked what he wanted. Ethan didn't hesitate. He said, "I want a different life." Those words ended one chapter and started another. Help arrived. Counselors stepped in. The system intervened. Ethan was moved to a place that was clean, warm, and quiet. The first night there, he couldn't sleep. The silence felt strange. There were no footsteps, no arguments, no fear. Slowly, he began to heal. He focused on school, learned how machines worked, built things with his hands. Pain became fuel. Fear became motivation. At 19, Ethan earned a scholarship. At 25, he started his own engineering company. At 29, his work was being used in hospitals, saving lives. Success didn't erase the scars, but it proved something important. The past did not define him. It strengthened him. Years later, Ethan returned to Linden Street. The house stood empty, broken, forgotten. He walked into the living room where fear once ruled him. And he whispered, "You don't control me anymore." The house was silent. For the first time. It always would be. The real horror was never the house. It was the life inside it. And the real victory was surviving.